press conference by the Director Generals of Operations of the Army, Navy and Indian Air Force have just over. Now, couple of things have been made very clear by the Director General Operations, or whether it is the Indian Army, whether it is the Air Force and whether it is the Navy, is that the big breaking story at this point is that what has come out at the last end of the press conference is that Indian Armed Forces continues to be on high alert even as we speak. Indian Army continues to be on high alert. That is the big breaking news. And another big breaking news is that the Indian military establishment this evening, in fact a short while from now, has made it absolutely clear that any violation of the understanding or any act of terror or any military action by Pakistan will be dealt fiercely, and they will meet with punitive action from the Indian side. In fact, the Chief of Army Staff earlier today have given very clear-cut directions to all the Army commanders to actually deal with the situation and respond according to as the situation demands. And in fact, the Army commander has been authorized by the COAS to deal with any violation in the manner they find fit. Now, this entire long press briefing by the Ministry of Defence, by the military commanders, actually has come up with several big breaking points. One big breaking point that viewers, for you is that, for all of us in fact, is that India has confirmed for the first time since the conflict began that it has downed Pakistani planes. And now what is the big story is that there is a confirmation coming in now that India has downed few Pakistani planes. That is what the military commanders have said, few. He has not given the numbers. He has said the few Pakistani fighter planes have been downed in the Indian action, downed by India, and these Pakistani planes have been downed inside Pakistan territory. Now, another fact that has come to light is that no Pakistani fighter plane had crossed over into the Indian airspace. Therefore, the Pakistani fighter planes were heading towards India perhaps, and that is when they were hit, and that confirmation is there. We don't have the numbers, but yes, this confirmation has come today that in the last 4 to 5 days of the conflict escalation between India and Pakistan, India has downed a few Pakistani fighter planes, and these fighter planes were downed inside Pakistan territory. That is one very big story that has emerged. Another big confirmation that has come is that we had heard about the Army and the Air Force, but we had not heard about the role of the Indian Navy. Now, in this press conference, the Director General Naval Operations, he said that the Navy submarines were deployed during the escalation. The Navy submarines were in full readiness, and other Navy submarines and other naval assets were in full readiness. Naval ships were in the North Arabian Sea as deterrent, and Pakistan Navy was forced as a result of this action to be in the defensive postures, and that the Indian Navy was in the hitting distance of the Karachi port. That is what we are getting to know now. This has been confirmed that the Indian Navy was in full alert. Submarines were deployed during the escalation. Subs and other naval assets were in full battle readiness. Naval ships were in the North Arabian Sea as deterrents, minded viewers, as deterrents only. And Pak Navy, as a result of all this Indian naval action, were forced to be in the defensive postures. Now, another big point to take away from this press conference is that India has made it very, very clear today, because the man who took the call from the Pakistani side, that is Director General of Military Operations, Lieutenant General Ghai, he said that in the morning yesterday, that is Saturday, there was a communication from the Pakistan Directorate General of Military Operations wanting to know whether the Indian DGMO would be willing to speak to his Pakistani counterpart. Obviously, the answer went in the positive, and then it was confirmed by the DGMO himself, Lieutenant General Ghai himself, in that press conference, that he finally spoke to his Pakistani counterpart exactly at 3:35 p.m. Indian Standard Time yesterday. And that during that discussion, it was also agreed that the India and Pakistan DGMOs are set to talk or speak at 12 noon tomorrow. Now, this 12 noon tomorrow's meeting or telephonic conversation between the two DGMOs of India and Pakistan is going to be extremely crucial, because this conversation is going to determine to a great extent as to the future of the ceasefire, as to the roadmap in the next few days that we could see from the both countries, because this is going to be decided, and this is, if there is an agreement, that this ceasefire will hold, and otherwise if there are disagreements, then we can see some other response. Now, this is going to be a very crucial meeting between the two DGMOs over the telephone, over the hotline at 12 noon tomorrow. We don't know whether it will be a video conference or whether it is going to be a telephone conversation over the hotline. That is something which I'm not in a position to spell out at this point in time. So that is the big question. Now, another big revelation in this press conference came is that, yes, Pahalgam happened on the 22nd of April. 26 civilians were killed, 25 Indian tourists, 24 Indian tourists, one tour guide from Kashmir, that accounts for 25, and one Nepali citizen was killed. A total of 25 people were killed in this Pakistan terror attack in Pahalgam on the 22nd of April. After that, on the crack of dawn, on the 7th of May, between 1:04 and 1:30, in a swift 25-minute operation, 9 terror camps in Pakistan were hit. About 100 terrorists were killed. That is official confirmation to that has come earlier also, and today it was reiterated that 9 Pakistani terror camps were killed and 100 terrorists were hit. I'm sorry, and 100 terrorists were killed. Now, there were specifics given out at this press conference that there were 4 precision attacks made on Murid K. There were 4 precision attacks made on Murid K. And it was also said that the terror camps are hit from air to surface strikes. Air to surface strikes. That means missiles were sent in from the air. That means Air Force was used to send out these air to surface missiles to hit the targets inside Pakistan, these 9 targets. Now, high value targets have been eliminated. That's what the DGMO had said, high value targets. We already have been talking about 5 top terrorist leaders, Pakistani terrorist leaders, who were eliminated in that Indian strike on the crack of dawn on the 7th of May. And what we also got to know from the briefing is that the Pakistan state as well as the Pakistani terrorists were caught by surprise by that swift Indian action. Now, what we also got to know from this press conference is that on the day after, on the morning when the attacks were carried out on the terror camps, the Indian Directorate General of Military Operations wanted to set up a hotline conversation between the Indian DGMO and the Pakistani DGMO. This initiative was taken by the Indian side, but the Pakistani DGMO, as stated by our DGMO himself, General Bhuj, that the Pakistani DGMO refused to speak to the Indian DGMO, to his Indian counterpart. That has also been made clear. Now, they said that there were hordes of drones sent in to the Indian side on the 8th, 9th night, 8th and 9th night, 9th and 10th night, intervening nights. Hundreds of drones in droves, that was the word used, were sent in, but the Indian air defense system were able to neutralize them. But the Indian military commanders, they confirmed that 3 drones were hit the ground, and they did some minor damage. That was the thing. But the turning point, as stated by our military commanders, was when India hit Pakistan air bases, command centers, radar stations, and hit the air defense systems. That is when that was considered as the turning point. India hit air bases and air installations in Chaklala, that is Islamabad actually, Saklala, Sargoda, Jacobabad, Rafiki, Sakar and others. So these were confirmations that have come, and there was a detailed presentation before and after images of those sites that were hit and neutralized by the Indian strikes. On the whole, it was absolutely advantage India.